Howdy everybody, we're back with another session of Clicking with Mackenzie and the crew. I decided on Clicking with Mackenzie and the crew as the name. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to switch it up a little bit. So we're still going to get some donkey training in, they had to miss a week, so they need the brain work, I'm sure. And then we're going to work on doing some stuff around folks who have raised puppies in a pandemic. But I thought I'd demo what we do with the donkeys first, and then we can go do it with the dogs. We're also going to do a quick check-in with James and Boona and see how recall work is coming with them. So We got a packed full schedule, so I'm going to get right to it. A lot of people got puppies this year, which is, a great thing in a lot of ways, but it's a weird year to get all over. Welcome to Clicking with Mackenzie and the Crew, which is my new name for what we do. Today we're going to be doing some work on pandemic puppies, so we're switching gears a little bit.
That's great.
We're going to do some demonstrations with the Divas and then do some dog training, which should be pretty fun. I just want to talk quickly about what I mean when I say pandemic puppies. So a lot of people, yeehaw! Come on, give me some yeehaw.
Back up.
There it is. A lot of people got puppies. Oh, you left so much in there. You just wanted to train more during this pandemic, and it's awesome because a lot of dogs found homes, but
What
also circumstances have been so different than before the pandemic. A lot of those dogs are now facing more problems than a typical puppy would. Early in puppies' lives, they have crucial socialization periods where they need to experience a lot of different things, not to be afraid or overexcited by them. A lot of puppies have missed those windows. So for the next 2 or 3 sessions, we're going to try and do just some general tips on if you got a pandemic puppy or you're interested in or know somebody who does have one, some things you can do to try and help them adjust to a changing world. So today we're going to cover arousal thresholds, which just means how excited an animal gets for various stimuli.
That was great.
Some people might describe it as overexcitement stuff. And we're just going to do some things that will help any pandemic puppy with that sort of thing. And then we're going to also work on some behaviors and check-in with James and Boona on recall. So without further ado, Maud's going to help me just demonstrate the 3 behaviors we're going to work on today. So the first one is what I like to call the relax, get excited game. And McCall, feel free to do this too if you want to. And it's just about building off-switch behaviors so that if an animal is too aroused, they know how to calm themselves back down. I don't know if you've ever had a dog have the zoomies or something like that. It's really fun to watch and exciting for us, but it can get a little out of control, and especially for pandemic puppies who maybe haven't gotten to experience a lot of people sing. They might get excited about seeing new people or new stuff way more easily, and so they need to practice getting excited, calming back down. And ideally, they practice calm as a default behavior. So Maud's doing a good demonstration of being excited. A little nice trot. And the first step to this game is just getting the animal excited. With the donkeys, we like to do the yeehaw game. Yeehaw! Come on! Whoa! You're not yeehawing? Maud's too good at the relaxed part of this. Oh, you're singing? Sing! I have to give her a treat for every time she sings because we're trying to really get that one on cue. Saw the yeehaw gone out? There it is. So, first step, get the animal excited. And then we're going to do one treat for excitement and more treats for calm. So what is calm behavior? Well, with a donkey, 4 feet, just standing still, not running everywhere, standing still for longer and longer periods are yada treats.
Yeah.
So this is a good stand. Well, you just take a bunch real quick. And
Yeah.
So we've gotten standing still for several seconds with a distraction. It was a good take. Thank you. I'm looking for blinking. Just nice, relaxed behaviors.
Pretty.
With a dog, we might look for something like sitting or laying down.
Pretty.
But then before they decide to get themselves
Whoa.
excited, we're going to amp them back up again.
Yeah.
So that they're doing a lot of practice on getting worked up, calming back down.
Will we relax?
Again, we might just do duration on standing still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can also start to look for relaxed ears, a lot of blinking. You missed it.
Gentle.
Whether with a horse, like whether or not their crop is up or down. Big, heavy breaths. You can click for any of those things because we're shaping just generally relaxed behavior. A little bit of arousal there. See if I can get just a blinker or something. Oh, there's a good donkey. And then several treats on it. Okay, so we're going to do some of that with the dogs. The other game that we're going to play is just a really simple socialization game called Look at That. And it's for looking at novel things in the environment. So the moment that will you guys be kind of exciting?
Yeah.
Looks away.
Goody.
I'm going to mark and reinforce
Whoa.
her. Or even directing her ear that way.
Goody.
Be a little more exciting. She's pretty comfortable in this environment, so she doesn't really need to check in a lot. And she's used to ignoring those two at this point.
Whoa.
So, good. Also, equines check in differently than dogs, so her head might not go all the way over there.
Yeah.
But she's just going to move to a position where her eyes can see a little bit better. Keep being a little bit exciting.
Goody. Yeah.
What's your sister doing?
Whoa.
There we go. So that's a really simple game called Look at That. We want to mark for checking out the environment like a calm animal does. And then the last one that we're going to do is just a general greeting behavior. Which,
This way.
okay, that's enough excitement. Better get some relaxation in. You want to come in here with me? Come on. We'll practice with Gertie real fast. Can you try and send Gertie to say hi to me?
Sure. Gertie. Touch Mackenzie.
She just gave a big old sigh. Oh, are you bringing that over to me? And then go ahead and mark and reinforce back.
Gertie.
So nice, simple, hello, I know how to say hi to strangers.
Gertie.
See if you can get her to come away and then send her back. You're doing great.
Gertie, touch
We'll
Mackenzie.
break this down a little bit more with the dogs. So just a nice, clear greeting behavior because a lot of pandemic puppies haven't had a lot of time to get to work with and see a lot of people.
What else
So
can you do?
practicing the behaviors we want them to do is going to be pretty important. Cool. All right, with that, let's go do some dog training.
What else can you do?
You can keep working with the donkeys if you want to, McCall, or I think we just need to switch out the mic
Yeah, I'm good.
and save some treats for later. We've got a good long training session. Oh my gosh, he's even bigger?
Yeah. Or if you can't control the other one.
Is it not working?
No, it just might be a little bit slow.
Oh, look at that heron. Does anybody need a clicker or treats?
Got a clicker.
Okay, great. Awesome. Should we do recall first or puppy first?
Are you good, Kate?
Either way.
Yeah, I'll pick whichever one works.
I mean, we can do recall with both dogs, and then we can do some of the other stuff. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We're doing this camera, right?
Yeah, as long as we're in this area, we can see it.
Okay, why don't you, James, go that way, Ryan over here, and let's do like 20 feet apart, and I'll stand in the middle.
Test.
Yeah.
Good girl.
All right,
Bruna.
so we're just going to start with recall. And James, do you want to demonstrate the basics of recall for, what's your dog's name? I just totally spaced it. Hudson?
Good girl, Bruna. Yeah, so what we've been working on is trying to keep her attentive, but then throw a treat
Nice.
and then get her attention.
Great.
And
Perfect.
click as soon as she comes in.
So that's a reorienting. And the first stage of recall is turning away from something exciting or interesting back to you. And you're not going to have good recall if your animal isn't able to turn their attention back to you. So it's a really simple game. You can play with Hudson real quick, and just as soon as you can be kind of interesting, as soon as he turns back to you or gives you any sort of attention, mark, and then throw a treat the other direction and show him where it is. Yeah, that was a good one. Click. Good. And just throw a treat. Good. Now wait for him to attend to you. Yeah, you can point it out to him. It's a little hard to find in this wet. Great. And throw a treat away, and then just head the other direction.
Sorry, good.
You might need a little bit bigger treats for this in the yard. Here, do you want some hot dog?
Sure.
Good guy. Can you sit? You can just break that into hunks. Good sit. I was going to give you a treat on the ground, but then I got distracted. Well, a little rusty because I haven't been doing a lot of dog training sessions lately. All non-profit work these days for Mackenzie. Great. Treat away, head away. As soon as he turns back to you. Yeah, beautiful. And then you can just drop that treat right where he's going to see it. Yeah. All right, you keep playing that. James, it seems like the attention is going actually pretty good. Compared to last time, she was breaking to see me more and stuff.
Right, yeah.
You feel like it's improving?
Yeah, it has been. I think we did a little bit of work earlier today, so she might be feeling a little more, like in tune.
Yeah.
She knows what's happening.
But also, you got to take those wins where you get them. So your main focus been the redirection, which is great because I think that was probably the part of her recall that needed the most work. And she didn't even get the treat. She just left it so she could come to you. So now you might start amping up and just raise your criteria to the treat is when she comes back to you. So we can play that game really quick. I'll distract her.
Okay.
And instead of calling her, you're just going to wait for her to choose to turn away. I'm not going to give her any food. I'm just going to try and keep her attention. And then really big jackpot when she comes to you and just run away. You can mark same thing as soon as she turns.
Mark it as
So we're
soon as she
raising
turns.
criteria in level of distraction and we're reinforcing back.
Okay.
And I can demo it if it's a little bit hard, but I got really something pretty awesome. And it's just going to take her a second to reorient to you. And she's doing great in terms of just keeping herself in control. There it is. Can you just go ahead and click her? You already click her?
Yeah.
There it is. It'll take a couple, but then she'll get better and better at it. And here, I'm going to give you just a hunk of this hot dog because she's also going to start figuring out that it's ignoring me with the hot dog gets the hot dog back from you. So I'll get her attention a little bit. And then same deal. There. You might need a little bit louder
I
clicker.
need a louder clicker, yeah.
Do you want this one?
Yeah.
She's like, there it is.
Oh,
Good.
it is.
Yeah, it takes a second to get used to that.
Good girl, Bruna.
We'll do one or two more. Have you had any trouble with training? Or is it going pretty good?
Not really. It's actually been going pretty good.
Seems like it. She's doing great with this. She does great eye contacts. Good. Sweet. Now that we've gotten a few where she did the behavior, we can start introducing the recall. So just using the actual word.
Okay.
And you can also practice catching her up if you want to. So I'm just going to hold her, and then I'll release her as soon as you call her. You can just go ahead and call her whenever you want.
Bruna,
Yeah.
come.
Great.
Good girl.
We have puppy on the loose.
I think he needs a brain break.
Yeah, probably needs a brain break. It's like, oh, I got the bone. This is so exciting.
This looks like, oh
Go get Mackenzie.
I got you.
Bruna, come.
Nice. That's great. So that's probably a lot of work for Puppy to do, just like pretty distracting. I think you guys are in a good place. Maybe we'll move on to just demoing some of the puppy stuff.
Yep.
Sound good?
You got it.
Cool. Did you get a chance to see any of the stuff I did with donkeys? Can I just steal him a little for a second? I might need to go grab a clicker.
You want this one?
I want a louder one just because it's a little bit quiet out here. Oh, you're going to set it back?
Yep.
Okay, great.
Bruna.
Thank you.
Good girl.
All right, so for our first round, we're pretty jacked. We're going to just practice a couple key behaviors for just like over-arousal, which is something that a lot of pandemic puppies are facing because it's like really easy for them to have not really developed that sort of off-switch behavior that turns off that arousal. And so I'm just going to demo that first because I think that's where we need to start. Very nice. So I'm not super concerned if he does like a little bit of jump or something. I'm going to just keep trying to build my reinforcement on calmer and calmer behaviors. And I'll probably combine that a little bit with looking at his environment to check in. Very nice. So he's up into a sit, but that's okay. So this is a really fun game for any puppy or any animal that's just a little bit excited. And it's a great one to practice in all sorts of new environments because it helps build lower and lower arousal, and then they start to default into calmer and calmer behavior. So all I'm going to reinforce him for is it's a two-step process, getting excited, and then I'm going to click him back down into calmer and calmer behavior. So, but I want to initiate that excitement. Let's go! Just nice and an easy, big excitement. Sorry, that was a big distraction for Bruno. Ideally, I get him before he jumps up, but that's not a big deal because I'm going to do a lot of reinforcement on not jumping. And the times where jumping might get him reinforcement is just when I say, get excited or let's go. So I'm capturing that excited behavior. What a lot of people do is they get too concerned that the excited behavior is happening and try and suppress it, like focusing on just trying to get it to stop, which is an easy impulse to understand. But if we put it on cue, it actually becomes much more controllable. And they start to be able to think through it a lot more. So lots of reinforcement for calmer behavior. And then I'm going to just try and get some more arousal. I'm also like kind of incorporating the like running with me as part of that arousal because that's where you want arousal, right? Is on your recall. We're already seeing a calmer dog just in terms of his ability to just like sit and chill, which is pretty exciting. So I'm not going to get him super aroused because he's already just getting pretty stoked on his own.
So when are you clicking?
I'm clicking for getting excited and then several times for calmer and calmer behavior, which looks like sitting, blinking, checking out his environment without going to it. It's a whole slate of things, but just think about like, what does a relaxed dog look like? Was he a more relaxed dog for like a little bit than he had just been? I'm also playing just a little bit of look at that with those two, since it's pretty exciting for a puppy to see. And I'll show you that just a second. So I'm going to do one more and then you take the reins back over. Get excited! Very good. So just a split second of excitement. I got him before he actually jumped on me, which is great. And now I'm going to try and get a lot of reinforcement on just sitting there, chilling out. Yeah, you were too excited to even like get your hot dog. Sniffing's a good one. I've had clients like, you want to do more and more reinforcement on the calmer behaviors, because that will start to become the default behavior the more reinforcement it gets. Good, look at that. I've had a lot of clients take this to the point where their dog goes from excited to comatose, which is maybe a little much. But your criteria can just be if their tail is wagging, it stops wagging. If they are really like, they're not blinking at all, they start to blink. All sorts of stuff like that. I know. Do you need a break? Okay, let's give them just a quick break to play and see if they want to play. Off. Just because he got a lot of...
Let me take this off.
Go get headphones.
Go get him. They're like, no, there's too good a reinforcement here. Do you want some of these? Just big chunks of cheese.
Thank you.
Can you sit? Nice. Sit.
And so as part of the excited thing, he's good at sitting for about a second.
Right.
To meet someone.
But he'll get more and more like good if we keep up with it.
Okay.
And probably if he does jump, he'll just sit for a long time. So let's just try it out. Tell him to get excited once he's sitting. And go ahead and tell him to get excited. Good. And click. And reinforce. Now see if you can get a bunch of reinforcement for just standing there. Great. If he looks at me or looks at something else in his environment, that's also good. You can click for that. Great. If he lays down, you can click and give him several. And we're just going to try and get like 10 reinforcements on 4 feet on the floor. Good. And he's not going to have it like tomorrow, but if you play this game for like 5 minutes a day for a week or two, I would expect that he'll really quickly start to be able to more rapidly just go into calmer behavior. And in a month or two, you could diminish the jumping pretty much, except for the most exciting stuff.
So should I do this?
Yeah, click him one more time for that settling down, because he's calming himself back down. He went from a standing posture to a calmer posture. His down is a very like excited down.
Yeah.
So I like the longer sits, and then you can jackpot that down, and sooner or later he's going to start offering you longer downs. Okay, yeah, get him excited. Nice. And yeah, again, just like nice, easy clicks. Calmer behavior. Good. If he's in a new place, this is an awesome game to play with him. If you need to take him somewhere, like, I mean, if I'm bringing up a puppy, I'll take him to a grocery store, stand like at the other corner of the parking lot, and practice this game. Where there's like, I mean, on leash, obviously.
New distractions.
Yeah, but then they start to generalize being calm around more and more interesting things until we can play it right next to the door, and they can kind of ignore the environment. And then, take them all over the place and just start from the beginning and reteach it. It gets better and better each time. Okay, let's do really quickly, just look at that, which you've actually already been playing. So the moment he looks at anything, just click and put a treat right back at your feet. A lot of distractions, so that's great. This is a great game to combine with that relax, get excited game, because it's just helping him see, like, check out his environment without having to rush over. It's how calmer animals check out their environment. What you see is their actual ability to focus on you builds up. So he's doing a really good job now. You can click for looking away and looking back at you. It's raising criteria. But if you can't get that, you need to just click for looking away.
Okay.
He's doing really great with Boona right there. Yeah. Beautiful. He's going to be so brain dead. This is also another crucial game for just building really strong, relaxed behavior. I click and jackpot him because he just had like the most relaxed down he's had this whole time. And a jackpot is just 3 or 4 treats one at a time, and it helps strengthen that behavior even more. It's like, yes, you did it right in the way that we want to go. Okay. Do you want to do practice say hi?
Yeah.
So it's also really helpful with dogs are a little bit excited to practice just like what to do when you're meeting a stranger. So you're going to pretend to be the stranger.
Okay.
That was pretty good. And we're going to practice our say hi. So I'm going to click for sitting, and we'll walk him right up, and we'll put a treat at your feet. And then I'm going to click and bring him away. I'm going to do that a couple of times so he can just practice not interacting with the person. Sit. Click for sitting. You got one jump in there. Treat at the feet. Bring him away. You can add clicks anywhere in here if they're having trouble with it. Click for sitting. That's my release to get a jump up. Bring him away. Now we'll practice just 1 second of petting.
Okay.
Come on. Nice and easy. So like 2 or 3 walk-ups. He didn't jump on you once that time.
He's like, I see my mom all the time.
It's a lot easier, but we want to start in a way that's
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. Let's do one more and we'll switch and you can take over. I'll give you these treats.
Okay.
Now this will be a little bit more challenging, but you got to practice in an easier way. Let's see if you can do it with me. So go ahead and ask for the sit.
Hudson, sit.
Good. And then you can just walk him right over and put a treat on my feet. And then just palm away. Yeah, that's good. That was perfect.
Sit.
That was a great, really good eye on clicking. I didn't even say it, but you used your click to just interrupt him, the possibility of him jumping up. That was great. Good.
Good boy.
Look, she's all over the place in this. Good. Good. Caught him. Yeah. Beautiful. Do you want to do a couple pets?
Sure. Hudson. Sit.
Ideally, you want to just kind of ignore him if he breaks. So he's getting more and more reinforcement on a more easier to say hi. We'll do like 1 second of petting. Click. Good. Oh, they are muted. Yeah.
It's fine.
I didn't hit it though. I guess they were muted the whole time.
No, not the whole time.
Mine doesn't switch to muted. Is it off? No.
Mine must have been muted.
That's fine.
I'm sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Maybe the puppy hit it. In
Yeah,
the,
probably.
Because I
Thanks.
think I was hearing it.
I guess I was muted. Sorry, everybody. Let's just do a couple more say hi's and then we'll call it a day. Hudson. You're not Hudson. Oh, nice. He went to you. That's great. You got enough treats? Practice a couple?
Hudson.
You might have hit it again.
No, we're good. Do you want to practice with James? James, did you see that recall game? And I'll take Boona and distract her for a second. Why don't you practice with James? Hi, how are you?
Sit.
Good sit. Boona.
Hudson. No, it's a good sit. What about this way? Sit.
Boona.
Hudson.
She's like, sorry. You got 2 dogs. Here you go. A lot of distraction. That was actually really good. He didn't come over and jump on me. It's a lot harder game with 2 dogs.
Who do we click for?
You can just call him back.
Hudson. Hudson.
That's great though. He's like, I think we burnt his brain. Is what happened. Did you get to practice a couple with James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In there.
Yeah.
If you could just practice with 2 or 3 different people who kind of know the game.
Okay.
And just, I mean, he's still going to jump the first time he sees somebody. He's going to try it out. But the more, we just need to stack more reinforcement. on practicing what to do, and then eventually it'll transfer back to his default behavior if you practice enough. You just got to kind of, nice. That was great. Cool. I don't want to, I feel like we've kind of burnt his brain out. He's a puppy, he's young, he's pretty excited. Next time we'll talk a little bit about, are you available for another one? We'll do a little bit about separation anxiety and how to work on that.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Have you had any trouble with him? Like, he's a little excited to see people, that's about it?
Yeah, he definitely loves people,
Which is great.
loves dogs,
Yeah.
loves leaves.
That's great.
Yeah, and he's been pretty good when you've gone and you've left him in the yard with Buna. I mean, by himself, he's maybe howled a little bit, but I mean, he's been by himself in a yard or
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody's really complained too much.
The separation anxiety is just coming up with a lot of people, so I thought we could demo.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not trying to say that he.
Yeah, he might. The only time I've noticed that he whines is like if it's off character. So like during the day, he'll be okay.
Right.
But if I'm like gone at night,
Right. He's not used to that routine.
whoa.
Yeah. Great. Well, we'll work on that next time.
Perfect.
Rather than overdoing it today. Thanks for helping me out and do this, both of you. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Mackenzie.
it.
This is outstanding.
This is fun.
It's definitely making a difference. Even just a couple formal sessions and a little bit in between. I mean, it doesn't take a lot, it seems like.
No, good training happens probably in like 1 to 5 minute sessions, 2-3 times a day. And then if you're like me, you overdo it and do like 45-minute sessions and your animals hate training. But it actually doesn't take a lot because like it's just using the same mechanisms that they're learning to experience the world. And if we set strong default behaviors, those, jumping up becomes the default if it's what gets attention all the time. And especially for young puppies, actually a lot of times it's a nervous behavior where they're actually a little bit unsure about somebody, so they're playing up their puppiness. Just like humans sometimes act kind of babyish if they're nervous. You'll see that sometimes they'll blink a lot more, reduce their posture, all sorts of stuff like that. It's just because like unfamiliar things in life, people have different reactions to those. Yeah. And if you teach a puppy just like, oh, actually what works better is just walking up or ignoring that person altogether, that'll become their new default. Because a lot of them actually prefer it because they're actually more comfortable. Hi, you're doing great. And it'll take a little bit because he's rehearsed the jumping up, so don't expect it to turn over tomorrow, but if you can practice 5 minutes a day even, you'll start to see changes, I think. Huh, yeah, you're really good. You have a really great go say hi, don't you? You're always 4 feet on the floor.
Sometimes she's a little too much.
Yeah.
Go say hi.
Sit. Oh yeah, you just had to prove me wrong. I see
Right.
what's going on. All right, I better go
All right. Well,
get my horse ready to roll. Thanks.
thank you, Mackenzie.
If any questions come up, you can always email me too. Sit. This one, I think it was a puppy hit. I swear, I see something. I really did.
I said there's cheese around.
Yeah, there's definitely a few chunks of cheese around for sure. Wait.
All right, everybody, this is James back in the tech booth. Yeah, so we had a little bit of impromptu training and some little tech dilemmas going on, all par for the course here. But what you're seeing now is Mackenzie's getting ready to grab Canner, and he's going to walk Canner and I think Butte down to the winter pasture. And all the horses are going to end up down there, I believe. So we can follow them on the cams. If Celia or I Love are running the cams, you can keep doing that. And we should be good to go. So thanks for hanging out with us here on Social Mondays and sticking through us with these last minute tech problems. We got through the whole day without too many problems, and then all of a sudden it all hit at once here for clicker training. So that's the way it goes. So again, Mackenzie is going to take Canner and Butte, I believe, down to the winter pasture. But Mackenzie's got a process with getting Canner ready to go and kind of calmed down and haltered up. He's got to take his time with that. And yes, Augie, can he get any dirtier? You know, I suppose he could roll around a little bit more in the mud, and he might be able to get dirtier, but I think he does a pretty good job keeping dirty, that's for sure.